Kia ora, and welcome to Crusader Kings 3, and to no normal Crusader Kings playthrough, as we have here the fantastic total conversion mod, Princes of Darkness, which throws the medieval world into the world of darkness, a world of vampires, werewolves, mages, and so much more. This is a meticulously crafted mod with unique systems of magic and events that can change the face of this map. And while there are many interesting creatures of the night, we are going to be playing as and focusing on the Kindred, vampires of this world that exist, secretly pulling the strings of the world. The territories that you see here spread across the world, they are not the borders of countries, rather the influence that a single or a group of kindred exert over a given area, vampiric territory, if you will, each of which have varying styles of government, but most that prowl the night follow one core tenet, the masquerade. The idea that the existence of these night-dwelling beings needs to remain in the realm of myth. Mortals cannot know, for if they start to learn too much, well, that's when the pitchforks, the torches, and the inquisitions come a-knocking. And no matter how powerful an elder, all kindred still need to rest when the sun is in the sky. They are vulnerable. Secrecy is a necessity. And where then, amongst all of these opportunities, are we going to begin? Well, it's there right now. On the center of the screen, the tiny island south of Italy, Malta. On it sits a single keep and a small population of mortals. It is from here two kindred will attempt to rise. Siblings, no less, of the blood of Bavent. This world is not their original home, yet they will fight to find their place in the night. Missy and Pecs Bavent. Their tale, up until this point, stretches far and wide. And if you're interested in some of those series, you can find them linked above and in the description of today's video. As you see, this island here, the island of Malta, is not their ancestral home. Forced to flee the great powers of Europe, they seek the true home of their mother and father from oh so long ago. And that home is not down here in the Mediterranean, but rather to the north, to what is now northern England. North past Mercia and deep within the baronies of Avalon, in the county of West Riding, quite a distance away from where they are now. That is their goal. Can they stretch their influence far enough to return to this place? Melissa, aka Missy, has a claim on it and will do all she can to make it there. Yet these nights are oh so dangerous, and the Mediterranean is no safer for a kindred. Somehow, Missy and Pecs will need to try and survive the nights, which is going to be no small task for them. As you see, our duo are Caitiff, or clanless, if you will. All across the world, great vampire clans reign. Missy and Pecs, they're not a part of those clans. As stated earlier, this world wasn't where they were originally born. Their blood differs from many here, yet they are kindred all the same. And so they will not be able to call upon their allies of blood, and the other clans tend to look down on the clanless. Yet another challenge that they are going to have to face. But now is as good of a time as any to get to know Missy and Pecs a little better, starting off with personality traits. Missy is brave, impatient, sadistic, yet calm, while Pecs is fickle, callous, brave, and arrogant. Both of them are considered to be 12th generation Caitiff. The way that generations work in the world of darkness is by determining how far away you are from the original source of blood, of which some believe to be Cain. There are many benefits, however, to being a vampire, well, aside from the eternal life. And for Missy, she can call upon celerity, fortitude, potence, and dominate, each of which will give her powers that will set her far apart from any mortal, while Pecs can call upon obfuscate, fortitude, celerity, and potence. Similar disciplines with some differences. And finally, their lifestyle traits. Missy is an architect, a hunter, an aspiring blade master with a fantastic military education, while her brother is a novice physician, a herbalist, an aspiring blade master, and nearly as good when it comes to knowledge of the blade. And we're going to learn a lot more about those powers as we continue playing. And so it is, we begin here on the 12th of January, 1230 AD, with Melissa in charge of Malta, with her brother standing by her side as her marshal at the moment. There are so many things that we need to do to get prepared in here. And first of all, we're going to be grabbing Pecs and we're going to be pinning him just so that we can keep track of him up here and make sure that we know if anything happens to him. Our council is okay, but it mostly consists of mortals. We do have 2 Kindred here. We've got a Setite, it looks like, and we've also got a Bali, which are 2 different vampiric clans. However, yeah, our keeper here is an Infernalist, which is a crime. They've made a pact with a demon. We'll get to that if we need to. Right now, we don't need to, and they are of the same belief system as us, which I didn't go over at the start. Both Missy and Pecs believe in the path of chivalry, and we'll try and honor that through our play here. They do have some tendencies that go against it, like sadistic and callous, but, you know, no one's perfect, right? Now, if we have a look at our military here and our champions, for one, we do have a Kindred fighter here in the form of Yuel. It would be fantastic if he decides to stick around. 14 prowess though ain't great. The rest are either talented mortals or Kindred that just don't have that much in the way of fight. What we might want to have a look at doing starting off is creating an accolade, ideally for Pecs, because he's going to be around for a while. Right now he's not currently serving as a knight. He probably should be. And we can see the different acolytes he could potentially get, like Contender, Blood Reaver, Thug, Blood Lackey, and some of the others. And because he is our knight, or potential knight with the highest prestige, I think that's going to be the right course of action here. As it stands, he would be called the Golden Hammer. Contender, I don't think we're going to go with that. Blood Reaver, though, I like that. Enemy fatal casualties, that sounds nice. We'll have a look at the others, though, and we'll see what Marauder can help with fighting in uncontrolled territories. Mentor does give us a higher number of knights, which I'm kind of leaning towards that. Plus 10% army damage is also quite nice, but honestly, I think Mentor is where we'd really get some decent value, because right now, while we don't have that much of a crop of good soldiers, we will, given enough time. And believe me when I tell you, you can have an army that consists of just 4 Kindred and they would be able to stand against 1,000. So it is going to be really important for us to have more knights in general if we can. And we did have to roll time by just a little bit so that Pecs could actually be classified as a knight. We're going to spend 100 prestige to create this accolade, the Bronze Champion. Pecs, congratulations. We can't pick a successor right now, I believe. I think we also need to be mortal to be able to do it, but hey. Something else that we want to have a look at while we are in here are our man-at-arms. We've got light horsemen at the moment. We also have bowmen. I think we'll probably want to try and station the bowmen over here in Malta. Yep, there we go. That's where you are going to be living. And it looks like we can start herdifying some mortals. Vampires need to feed, and herdifying someone just means that we're going to be doing it on a regular basis. So we're going to try and herdify our Chancellor here. Now, we don't know what his blood type is at the moment, what his resonance is. All blood has a resonance to it, and that resonance leads to different disciplines. Right now, we are focusing on martial as a lifestyle, but if we have a look down here, we have all the different blood types: animal, choleric, melancholy, phlegmatic, and sanguine. And under each of those, we have different disciplines. So Auspice dominates, celerity, potence. So ideally, we kind of want choleric because we're going to be focusing on these 2 disciplines above some of the others. We do also have fortitude though, so getting a little bit of melancholy bloodness, that would go nicely. And we also have dominate, so phlegmatic. We don't really need sanguine blood, so let's just hope for one of those 3. And it looks like we can also create a coterie. A coterie is a group of vampires that work together. Now, I'm hesitant to do it right now, just because many of the kindred that are currently in Malta may choose to flee, because Missy hasn't been here for long. She has a short reign, and other kindred no doubt are going to be trying to take advantage of that. Now, I do suppose we could start to try and take a little bit of territory, but that's also going to draw more attention to us. Our goal, after all, is all the way up here, and we can't just declare war with the baronies of Avalon right now, because they're a great power, to say the least. Lord Mithras, the Lord of Light, is currently holding that land. And even if we did want to challenge him, we are outside of diplomatic range to do so. So we are going to have to slowly but surely hop our way across these numerous different locations to try and make our way up there. And honestly, I think trying to secure the Mediterranean is going to be our first step. And looking over here to Sardinia, we have Duchess Helena of Troy, a rather old kindred who has a considerable amount of power. With 42 prowess, even in hand-to-hand combat, she would tear us into pieces. And it seems like even if we wanted to, we wouldn't be able to declare a war of conquest at this kind of distance. So we can try and make illegal claims, or we could have a look at getting onto Sicily here. We have Count Landulf here, a Zamitzi, a flesh shaper, who right now only has 449 men to his name, but also 5 champions. In general, I think we are just going to want to try and see what happens as the first few days of 1230 roll by. We don't actually have a lot of coin at the moment, but we can try and recruit some more folk. And I think it'd be nice if we could try and invite some champions our way. We won't be able to do it for another 10 years, and they're going to have 12 prowess or more. And it looks like there's a creeping suspicion going on here, which we're going to have to deal with first. There is something odd about my champion, Guthelda. I cannot quite put my finger on it. Perhaps it's just my imagination running amok. Nevertheless, that ominous feeling is keeping me up at night. Why would we be feeling strange about her? She's just a mortal, after all. We could send David here to investigate, or admit that we're being paranoid and gain some stress. If David's investigation fails, we lose nothing. So sure, investigate. And we are going to try and see if we can call some champions our way. David has concluded his investigation of Guthelda's activities empty-handed. No proof. Well then, better safe than sorry. She seems innocent, and most mortals are. They shouldn't be plotting against us. Well, we hope so. Unless, of course, they could be hunters. And our first champion has arrived. Yet another mortal, but a strong mortal at that, with 15 prowess. Matilda, you're not all that bad. Let's see. Recruit to court, 45 coin to get you. Let's just hold out for now. We will keep you in mind, certainly. But we'll see if we can get anyone better. And something else that we haven't done yet is have a look at Malta itself. We do actually have a special building here in the form of the first chambers, which is Malta's library. Greek and Latin works, Arabic writings, Druidic runes. There's all kinds in this space, and it's very expensive for us to upgrade it, but it does give us an extra point of learning, and it also gives us more learning, depending on how stressed we are. Other than that, we have subtle merchant influence, and we also have subtle burgher influence. We can look at adding additional things to it, like a blunt tax, which would increase the tax that we're getting from here by half a gold per month, which would make a considerable difference at the moment, and I'm willing to do that, I think. Let's spend that prestige, 5 months, and we'll get that blood tax going. It is something that we can remove down the line, should we decide to. And now we've got Agatha here, yet another mortal, just oh so many mortals, but you might be a little bit cheaper, 40. You are still strong though. Now something that we can do with these mortals is empower them a little bit by turning them into our ghouls. However, we can only do that to so many mortals, and looking at the skills that they've got right now, I don't know if it's going to be worth it. That is our second recruit. I think we're going to hold out for the third, see what we've got, and go from there. Growing the herd. Well then, Amram, you have joined us, huh? Let's see. And you are sanguine. Literally the one resonance I was saying, we're probably not going to need that. Let's start herdifying yet another mortal, and this time it's going to be Gatella, who we know isn't going to screw us over. Well, maybe. We have our blood tax now, which is up to 2.3 per month, which is great. That will help us. And there's an omen of Gehenna. A two-headed cow was born, Gehenna being effectively the end of days for Kindred. Joan, let's have a look at you, eh? You are a poet, and with 13 prowess, yeah, all mortals, it seems, get a -7 to their prowess. Okay, you are 50 for us to recruit, I guess because you are a cautious leader. Let's have a look at all of the courtiers that we have access to at the moment, and we can sort them by prowess. So it looks like Matilda is the most experienced fighter that we have. Agatha is a competent fighter. Matilda, I think we're going to be bringing you on board. And with 8 intrigue, you might make a spy master yet. I know that's not very high, but looking at our court at the moment, or rather our council, David, 10. I suppose it could be worse. Oh, and what's this? Rest for the weary, sweaty and tired, in need of food. A long day or night of training with the troops is coming to an end. As we search for a place to camp, we spot an old abandoned castle in the distance. Smiling coldly, I declare, that is where we will make our camp tonight. The sun is setting, and with every step towards the ruin, it looks more ominous. Before long, the soldiers are whispering about ghosts. We can venture inside or hang outside with the rest of the soldiers, gaining +2 advantage for 10 years. Decent, but I think we will venture inside for now. Darkness, dampness, and desolation reign inside the castle, and all traces of life are gone. Peering up decaying stairs, I spot what might be remnants of lush tapestries and old paintings. Looking down spiraling steps, I see only darkness reaching far down into the underground beneath the castle. We search the upper floors. Well, there's a chance that we're going to find gold up there. What might be hidden in the darkness underneath? Well, facing our fears, we get an extra prowess, and it's harder for us to get stressed. There's a 99% chance of success here. The extra prowess could make all the difference, but early on, gold is also good. You know what? I think we're going to do what Missy would do. Face those fears, be brave, and get some extra prowess from it. Now, something else that we can have a look at doing at potentially bolstering our ranks here is going to some of our Kindred knights and trying to find them partners. Now, partners in the world of darkness, it's not usually just a straight up marriage that we're going to be looking at here. It's more an alliance, an agreement between two vampires. I mean, sometimes it can be for love, but more often than not, it is for power of some kind. And in this case, Missy is going to be setting up people based on that power. So, Yol, what are we going to try and get for you? Someone strong. We're going to be sorting by prowess here, and ideally we want someone that isn't landed. This court mentor here, you have quite an interesting look going on. You are a Zemitzi. Would you be interested in joining us? You're also 8th generation. I mean, your look is just incredibly impressive. Let's see then. It does seem like you will accept. So we will send off that proposal and we'll move further down our line here. Yes, we do have 2 others who are currently champions. They probably shouldn't be. Let's see if we can find you a spouse. It looks like court mentor Alexander down here is going to be the best bet for now. Let's hope that that won't have you running off to another domain. We'll send that proposal. And then finally, we have our court mentor here, Gersenda. Let's try and arrange a marriage for you. And it seems the chances for you are different, and that's probably due to her belief system. Let's sort by prowess and see what we have. Akos, Breaker of Wolves, 10th generation. Damn, and with 25 prowess, you are impressive. This is a matrilineal wedding, so you should come to us. And oh boy, it would be fantastic to have you. Your marshal is fantastic, which means that we might be able to get Pecs to help us out elsewhere on our council. You are quite knowledgeable, while a little reclusive. yeah, a 10th generation venture. It would be fantastic if we could have you join us. And I think that's about going to do it for now. So we'll let those proposals roll out, and hopefully we won't lose anyone in the process. It does seem like we have an acceptance here, and yet another. Okay, and one final acceptance. Excellent. So let's see. They are here, and they are our champions. Very nice. I'm feeling a little bit more confident now. And you sir, let's see if we can't get you on our council in some form. So Pecs only has a 13 in martial, but his learning is considerably high. So we may have to give our court mentor, who is his wife, a boot. Yeah, sorry about that. Let's just go and swap them around. First of all, Pecs, yeah, with a 15 in learning, he's decent at his job. Well, you're going to be losing your job to your husband. Could be worse, I suppose. It's still going to work out, right? Now, in saying that, she could very well be our diplomat, because 9 is still, yeah, okay. All right, you're back on the council. And as for keepers, we're kind of stuck with Blanca for now. And David, you're a good spy master. So having a look at some of our extra roles here, we actually have touchstones that we can apply. And touchstones in Vampire the Masquerade in the World of Darkness are our connections to mortals, which is interesting that this is in this now, and I don't know if we want to do that just yet. It would give us some more diplomacy experience, apparently. I'm not sure what would make them a good touchstone, but we can see that most of them are terrible, and I think it's probably because of our opinion of them. Yeah, Chana we like a little bit. She's a formidable banneret. But yes, touchstones are a vampire's connection to the mortal world, representing a mindset in which they value themselves. A touchstone might be a single living human being, or it might be a surviving partner, family member, or someone related to the vampire killed in their early life. It's a way for them to stay connected to their humanity. So, something that will probably be useful and necessary. And we have a psychic among us. David. Not our spy master David, but okay. Now, a court physician, Pecs, your average. He is considered a novice physician and a herbalist, so let's give you that job for now. A caravan master would be nice, but we don't need one right this second. But a personal champion, that's where I think our breaker of wolves can come in. Yeah, that'll do nicely. That has kind of undone the blood tax that we've been applying recently. And now, having a look at this, we have 8 champions to our name, and they're not bad fighters. And our herd has grown yet again. Right, another sanguine? Come on. Okay, all right. Matilda, you're up next. I mean, it's not going to be easy for us to do, so we might want to try and get David here to support our schemes, giving us a slightly higher chance, I think. It's still 47%. We'll see how we go there. And there we are. We can see that we've got 186 resonance XP from our herd, effectively. And it's kind of keeping us fed here at Blood Hunger 1. For us to get to 0, we need to completely drain a mortal. And I'm not against that. We do have a number of mortals among us. Maybe we could have a look at picking one of them out. Chana here, perhaps. It does look like she might leave, and it looks like it's considered to be a different kind of activity down here. Yeah. It's a journey. Melissa is in the planning phase of her journey. I see. Time to slake my thirst. So this is a recent addition to the mod. And we can see that Hunt in Your Capital is one of the potential journeys that we can go on. Learn new abilities. That's also nice. And then, yeah, we can create a coterie here. And I think we're closer to creating a coterie because we do have some kindred here who I think we'd want to try and have stick around a little longer. So let's just see what that might look like if we were to try and found a new coterie. Lately, I've been contemplating the benefits of working with a team. Trust is hard to come by in this world of darkness, but that does not mean I have to spend the rest of my existence as a lone wolf, with no one to fight by my side or support my endeavors. If I was to create a coterie of like-minded individuals, we could pool our skills and resources for future journeys. Okay, let's see what we can do to create a new coterie. Of course, we will need a name of some kind. We shall go with the Brood of Bavent. Oh, okay. So this isn't tied to our coterie. This is a person of interest. Anthony of Padua. One of your agents report that someone claiming to be Anthony of Padua, the famous holy man, has been seen in a nearby town. It is unlikely at best, since you're pretty sure that the real Anthony died last year and was canonized by Rome. The real Franciscan monk was a living saint with an aura capable of burning your kind from miles away. Still, this is perhaps worth investigating. He could be one of his companions still alive, or a man learned enough to warrant considering as a potential childer. That is, of course, the Embrace, creating a new kindred. Patron of the lost. Let's just have a look and see. Okay, your diplomacy is fantastic. Your learning is also fantastic. You're a theologian. Now, what direction do we want to go in? Gold is of no concern. It's time to pull some strings, or we let you go. Right now, we don't have a lot of prestige. We're going to have to try and get that back through battle. Honestly, we could try and sacrifice a little bit of gold. Yet, there is a chance that others could try and come from. And also, there's a chance that we may risk exposing ourselves, because when important individuals go missing, people take notice. We'll let a few days pass, and of course there is a competitor, and it's a competitor that is rather close to us up here in the Sea of Shadows, Lord Montano. So, our latest acquisition has excited the curiosity of a nearby ruler who very much wants Anthony for himself. So we can try to distract him, which is going to cost a fair amount of gold and prestige, or we can just say, he's mine, and then we get ourselves a powerful rival, or we kill him. Or we just let him go. I think Missy is going to make a stand. This mortal is mine. He is not yours. And so we have ourselves a rival in the form of Lord Montano, who has all of this territory to the north of us. So yeah, that might give us some motivations going forwards. And, you know, I think we're probably going to be changing some of our schemes here, because looking at our council, sorry, Gersenda, I think you've maybe lost the job yet again, because Anthony, you're going to fit in here just fine. And we're also going to have a look at turning you into a ghoul. We're not going to be embracing you. I don't think you're quite the candid we're looking for the embrace, because your prowess, I think Missy would be looking for a warrior, but we can still utilize you. 72% chance that we can turn you into a ghoul, a thrall of Missy's. And oh yeah, we've got a little bit of exposure there. That's okay. We will be abandoning the scheme to herdify Matilda. Let's ghoulify. And I think now that because we've got a rival, we're probably going to want to have a look at David going back onto disrupt schemes, because no doubt he's going to be making some moves on us. And oh, that is a very good looking province there. It's a lot. It's a lot. You are a powerful rival for us to have. Oh boy. But at the end of the day, it does come down to the number of champions. 11 in total. The military support probably comes from some kind of alliance, but we don't see any alliances. You do have children, though, that are seemingly spread across the world. Okay. Oh, the Sea of Shadows does actually... It's... Okay, Constantinople. Right, of course it is. Of course it is. Yeah. Alfonso is the current ruler of Constantinople, and right now you are, well, you're unseen, aren't you? Oh boy, Missy. We've poked the bear, or in this case, we've poked the shadows. Now, unfortunately, we can't just declare a straight out war against any of our enemies here in Sicily, because we don't have a valid casus belli as of yet. That is something that we can have a look at getting. We can declare a few wars at the moment. They're primarily going to be holy wars down here to the south. We may want to consider it if we are just wanting to try and pick up some extra territory, but it does bring, you know, more eyes. I think what we might want to try and do is get a little bit of a foothold here. And so, Pecs, we are going to be sending you to try and fabricate a claim here. And we got to hope that that's going to work out. Build up a bit more wealth, hopefully a bit more prestige, because right now we are desperately in need of all of that. Okay. We have tracked our prey. We take the first bite and she succumbs to the kiss. How much blood will we drink? Now, Chana, what? Oh, we don't know what kind of blood you have. But we are going to be taking all of it here. Completely satisfying our hunger. You're choleric. We need to keep you around. We need to hertify you. Okay, so we will take just a little sip for now, but we are going to want to make sure that we keep a close eye on you. So, of course, we are going to have to wait until we finish the scheme here. It's another 7 months away before we can start hertifying Chana, but we're going to make sure that we do. Excellent. Anthony shall be our loyal retainer. It is going to cost us some prestige to be able to do this. It is also going to make us hungrier, potentially ravenous even. Let's see how that goes. Okay, we got a strong hook on you, and you are now considered a ghoul. As long as we keep on giving you blood, you are going to remain 35 forever. He does also have potence as a discipline. He's learned that from our blood. You, I think, are going to be quite useful to us, Anthony. And you know, I suppose we could have a look at getting you married still, couldn't we? No real decent contenders as far as we can see. Actually, in saying that, Isabella, the exquisite here, is not all that bad. Let's have a look at you. Oh, you're also a ghoul. Okay, you're probably Goratrix's ghoul. Would we be able to steal you away? Would that be a smart idea? You've got a decent amount of prestige. Your learning is also pretty good. You believe in the code of Tremere currently, but that can be changed. Let's see. We shall send a proposal. Oh yes, and let us start to try and hertify Chana here. At the same time, we can also plan to hunt in our capital. Yes, and it looks like our marriage proposal has been accepted. And that's another thing that we should think about. There is the possibility of us either marrying off Missy or Pecs to be able to get some alliances. We'll look at that in a moment. For now, though, I think we'll just try and hunt this way. If we're hunting for peasants, we will get 5 mortals with random traits, scoundrels, warriors. Warriors would cost us prestige, which we don't currently have, so we may just want to go for peasants for the time being. We do have one little bit of safety here, now that I think about it. We can't attack our rival, they can't attack us. Neither of us have a legitimate casus belli, so we're safe from the north for the moment. And here it seems we have options. Wandering the streets of Malta, I find a number of mortals nearby that would be vulnerable to my machinations. I only have time to pursue one of them. Okay, let's have a look at you all here. And I think we're going to go for Floriano here, who should give us a little bit of a fight. Let us go for a hunt. We've tracked our prey, and it seems like phlegmatic blood. Now, I do believe that we want to have phlegmatic for dominate. Okay, I suppose we could try and keep you around still as well, but let's take a decent drink, eh? Yeah, and I think we'll probably want to have a look at hertifying him as well, just so that we can split the amount of blood experience we're getting, and we're probably going to try and release some of those that were more sanguine. For now, though, champion practice. The clang of mail and clashing swords ring in my ears as my champions practice their arms. I study them intently, trying to ascertain each one's particular strengths and weaknesses. There can be little rest for them, for as soon as the bell is rung to signal the end of the mock melee, the stable doors are opened. It is time to bring out the mounts. We're going field riding. Or bring me my armor. Okay, extra prestige and a health boost for 5 years, or we could go for experience. I think going towards getting lifestyle experience is almost always going to be better because we're Kindred, we learn really, really slowly. We've got lots of time to learn, so we don't rush anything. And we got Pecs with us here. Pecs glances at the mud fields at the bottom of the hill. Those could serve as the outline of an enemy army. He says, I inform my champions as I inspect the battle line, preparing them for the strategy at hand. Okay, so we could get aggressive attacker just like that. More fatal casualties? That sounds nice. Or 1 martial lifestyle perk unlock. I think we're going to go for that. That is going to be more valuable. Precision strike. The storm of hooves around me, the shouts of mounted warriors, their unyielding momentum riding at their head. It feels as if I am the head of a force of nature. This, however, is a force I direct that responds to my every little order, that I command as if it was an extension of myself. Charging into the flanks of an imaginary army, my champions never stray from my plan. I know this is how I can bring utter devastation to my enemy. Very nice. And now we will have a look at getting our first perk. We could go for Bellum Justum, which would reduce the cost of going to war, but Stalwart Leader is going to give us +2 to prowess just right away. And it also reduces the risk of commanding armies, and it will also allow us to challenge rivals to single combat. Ooh, now that is an interesting one. I do wonder how good at combat our rival is. 32 prowess is pretty damn good, Missy, and we can get it even better as well. Let's have a look. Okay, we are going to use a blood surge here. Let's fight killing time, so that will increase our prowess by 1, but it also potentially will make us hungrier. Let's try. Okay, we didn't get hungrier. Good for us. 52. Lord Montano, the Shadow, is quite the fighter. That would be very difficult for us to beat. He is also a 4th generation Kindred, a Methuselah. This is an incredibly powerful man that we have made our rival, and I love it. Look, Missy doesn't know the politics that well yet. She'll get there for sure, but right now with 33 prowess, I think we'd have an incredibly difficult time taking him on in single combat. Would you even allow us? No, you wouldn't. You would not accept our fight. We don't quite have the prestige to do it right now, but no, he wouldn't. Well, okay then. There we go. Our herd grows. Fantastic. Oh, and it does look like we're going to be able to herdify our friend here as well. Yep, let's go for it. And we are getting closer, it seems, to fabricating a claim on the county here. We do have a bit of gold in the pocket. We'll need it if we are to... Okay. Haha. Here we go. 72. We can just get it. This is an unpressed claim. Oh boy. Okay. See it done, Pecs. See it done. Thank you very much, my lad. And now that we got you back here, let's get you converting the faith here for us. And let's get Akos training some of our commanders. And Blanca, let's start promoting our culture here. So, I don't think we're going to want to go to war, not while we've only got 6 monthly income. Although in saying that, only 5 champions to your name, eh? Ooh. It is very tempting. Oh no, yeah, we need more prestige first. So we'll sit, we will plot, we will plan. Interesting. We have an option for a great journey here. Learn to master your beast. It would cost us 500 prestige to do it. There are rumors of vampires who have managed to transcend the beast for good, reaching a state where they no longer need to drink blood. It sounds too good to be true, but if there are answers out there, they are worth finding. Yeah, maybe not. Oh, and I do wonder if we can start to add some allies, some members into our coterie. First of all, looking at our council here and looking at Pecs, who has just gotten unyielding defender. Fantastic. Let's see if we can invite you to the brood of Bavent. We can indeed. Coterie member is considered a commitment. You will be able to kick Pecs out later, but he'll become a rival. No, we are going to invite him. There we go. You are a member. And Akos, I think we are going to want to try and invite you too. Welcome to the brood, if you will accept, and you do. Excellent. You see, unfortunately, we don't really have any ways to get prestige, but we can fight other wars. And we may need to. And actually, you know what? Oh, you bastard. He's already taken more territory down here. Yeah, we are going to have to start moving. Oh, would you look at that? We can take a little bit of territory up here. It would cost us prestige. It would be a holy war, and we would be going to war against any other Ashira in the area. How dangerous are you, Duke? 13 champions. What about down here? You're in negative gold at the moment. It looks like you might have just recently lost some territory to our enemy up here. A holy war for the county, a very powerful ruler down here in Cairo, may choose to join in. Then of course we do have this pack member down here who is all by their lonesome. Our first bit of conquest. It's in the wrong direction right now, but I think we got to take it where we can get it. We shall declare war. Raise the army, and that army will be commanded by Missy. Now, we may want to have Akos stand as the commander, but right now the commander advantage, the highest, goes to Missy. And plus, she's not just going to send anyone out here to fight this war. Hey, would you look at that? Yet another in our herd, and I think our herd is full now. So we're going to have a look at releasing some of our sanguine members, maybe just keeping one of them so that we can accrue a little bit over time. Looks like you're kind of waiting for us right now. There is a disadvantage to landing here, and it looks like we will still have the advantage. Let's hope we do. Okay, the battle is ongoing, and so far it is in our favor. We're going to start to speed up time, and we can see with only 2 soldiers left, they will fight on to the bitter end. 1 left, and it's probably you. As they start to flee, we're going to be able to chop down a fair few of those soldiers. And here we have our heartless rival. Lord Montano launches into yet another tirade about military strategies, and I, letting my mind wander, cannot help but notice that he actually is quite the sensible man. Tension between us is nothing new, but as our eyes meet, I feel my heart flutter with something other than hatred. Oh, that's not great. It must be loathing I feel? What spell has the Padrino put me under? So we've already got a 50% war score at the moment. If we continue on towards the main county, we'll be doing just fine, and it looks like we're going to have another fight in between here. Just looking at the last casualties, we're about the same, but at the end of the day, I think our champions are better, which is how we are winning. We have wiped them out, and now, okay, might have just been mercenaries. Let's knock them down. Oh no. We can't. Okay, we are going to need more soldiers here. We do have a pretty good war score at the moment. I think what we'll try and do is take out a few more of their men, and then we're going to have to start to try and accrue some of our own back at home. Good. Let's just continue to follow them. We'll wipe them all out before we try and get any reinforcements in. And I suppose every single time we are having these fights, there's always a chance that we could end up arresting someone of importance, so we'll stay at it. We haven't caught Constantine yet, and he is leading these armies. The numbers get smaller and smaller, but Missy ain't done. And it's always just down to these last few champions. Oh, an unexpected visit. Yet again, David is late for a council meeting. This time, I will not let it pass. When I arrive at David's chambers, I do not give him the courtesy of knocking. David is seated by his desk, writing furiously. As I clear my throat, he jumps out of his skin. He quickly stuffs a roll of parchment into his pocket, then turns toward me with an uneasy look upon his face. What are you hiding? Return later and search his chambers, or respect his privacy. He is arbitrary, but I don't think he is going to turn on us. We will respect his privacy for the moment. A gesture of appreciation. Well, there we go. A mischievous smile is playing on David's lips. I know I have acted strange as of late, and I apologize, but I had good reason. David hands me a neatly wrapped gift, decorated with colorful ribbons. I wanted to surprise you. I had it custom made. There is only one like it. Go ahead, open it. We gain 50 gold. David, fantastic, thank you. And while chasing our enemy around the desert here hasn't really been leading to much, I think we're going to have to go back. We're going to need to try more resources. And we have yet another person of interest here. A minor rival of ours has made a daring move against San Damiano, the church where the Holy Clare of Assis is dwelling with her sisters in faith. Obviously, the fool and his cronies didn't survive the true faith permeating the area, but they managed to cause quite a commotion. It appears as if one of Clare's sisters, Beatrix, was lost during the assault. Although you stand no chance against the pious and virtuous Clare herself, embracing her sister would be a moral blow to the church. Indeed, it would. You have some pretty decent learning skill going on there. Your stewardship is alright as well. Although, I don't know. Our council is already looking pretty good when it comes to learning. Stewardship is where we have a little bit of a gap. I think we're gonna pass you by. Yeah, and we'll see. Oh, of course, our rival picked her up. Of course he did. Oh boy. Yeah. And she's 5th generation because he's 4th. So she's already a very powerful kindred. Let's hope she doesn't turn into too much of an enemy. Alright, well, Commander promoted. My sheriff, Akos, has been showing off a promising new recruit. She may not be of as noble stock as you and I, my liege, but on my name, I swear that Margarita is someone that you would want on your side. Let's have a look at her. Are you sure about that? Are we certain, my friend? She's also ambitious as well. With 0 prowess. No, I'm sorry. No. Right, yes, and I think we are making the call. We're gonna have to head back with what troops we've got, which is gonna cost us, well, actually, not much in the way of gold. But we will be able to get reinforcements back there. Far from home, a stranger is brought before me. She has been waiting outside the castle for a week, my liege. The guard informs me. The woman bows deeply. My name is Gislan, your highness. I've traveled far and wide. I've seen many things, but I am weary of the road. If you allow me to stay, I will happily share my knowledge of the world with you and be your loyal servant. I mean, it's going to be stress because we're sadistic. Not worth it. Sorry. Off with you. And now that we are back home, we're going to be able to slowly but surely start to get some new recruits in. Okay, alright, our numbers are certainly looking better, and we can pick a perk under the Sanguine tree. We've got enough blood XP, but unfortunately, we don't actually know any of the disciplines yet. We're going to be storing that up over time, and I do believe we are going to have to try and swap out from some of those Sanguine servants before too long. And it looks like we have been able to get more troops faster, so hopefully we can hold on to the amount that we need to actually get this siege going. And it looks like we have, finally. But he will be able to kind of whittle us down. We just need to hope that we can make this hold. Yeah, you stay over there. We're over halfway now. Only 50 days left, and there we go. We have won the siege. The first war is over. We shall enforce our demands on our enemy. Our prestige is looking better, and we now have control of new territory down here. And that Malta green, that's going to have to go, I think. We're going to need something much more blood red. And because we have new territory here, well, let's see what we have going on. Stalking the shepherds and bounty of the undergrowth. I think we're going to want to try and put in a blood tax as soon as we can. But, you know, we'll see about that. For now, we will get our counselor in down here to try and get a little bit more control. And once we've converted the faith up here, we'll consider doing the same down here. But this isn't necessarily somewhere that we're going to hold on to long term. Oh, and we do have a few vassals out of this. Our first vassals, a Nosferatu. And you are of our faith. I see. I suppose you are too. Yes, another kindred, our sender. Now, they are both powerful vassals. They're going to want a seat on the council. However, we're not necessarily going to offer them that. It is unfortunate that they are of our faith because it means that we can't just, do away with them. I would love to offer one of those positions down here to Anthony, but to do that, we would need to remove them from power, and that's not going to be so easy to do. Oh, or maybe it will be. It looks like we can just revoke the title here, okay? And it seems that you will also accept it. I don't see us gaining tyranny from this. It is a temple though, so that might possibly be why. We'll check out the barony down here first. I mean, it also looks like it will more than likely be okay. Let's revoke the title. Okay, no choice. Indeed, you can still hang around though, should you desire, and maybe fight alongside us. And this barony here, we shall grant it to, he will be considered a zealot vassal. Well, that's okay by me. Let's grant him that title. And, it would be nice to kind of do the same here, if possible. Indeed, it looks like we can strip the title away just fine. Sorry, buddy, but just don't trust you, especially with the -100. You want a seat on the council, I realize that. You just don't have what it takes. And looking at the rest of our council here, we could offer this little bit of land to Akos, potentially, but it is a temple though, so I'm not so certain. Oh, now that's something that we've been sleeping on. Baroness Isabella the Exquisite, you are quite good when it comes to stewardship, but it doesn't look like you can be our steward. I mean, it would be great to have these two down here, but yeah, it doesn't seem like we can. Oh no, I stand corrected. We can make you the holder of the temple here. Sure, we'll grant you that title. And you are considered a powerful vassal now. Ideally, hopefully, we can add you to the council now, and we can. There we go. We shall assign you to that position, and we have ourselves a very powerful little family there. And Missy has made her first move, taking up territory in North Africa. Not the direction that she wants to be going in right now, but if she is to weaken her enemies, it is a must. It's territory that she can always hand off to another down the line, but for now, it will be crucial in her establishing dominance here in the Mediterranean. But with our rival up to the north of us, dangerous, ancient Kindred plot and plan all around us. But for now, the Bavent court remains united. Let's see what is waiting for us next. And finally, here at the end of today's episode, I'd like to thank you all for joining me for this new series. And for those of you who were following the last, I do apologize. But what we have now is a very stable game by the various updates Steam attempts to throw our way. A nice long series. Please do consider leaving a comment or a like if you enjoyed the show. As for now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.